Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next review for the next episode review for Zombieland Saga Revenge. Now we're reviewing on episode 6 now, called Walking Bet Saga, and I like this episode. I did like this episode. I had a little bit more fun than I did with the previous one though. But I enjoy this episode. Now, Walking Bet Saga. Now this focuses more on Tay Yamada, the one who's less talkative. He still acts more zombie-like than the rest of them. But so this is more on her episode now. And it was kind of a fun one because now with this episode, Tay has been or the Tay or Ty, I forget it. I think I'll say Tay. That she's been while the others go on get to do work to help still get her out of that debt that they've been having. She's been told to go run some errands, especially some grocery shopping lists, right? And really enough, that the reporter, I remember the guy's name though, but the reporter or the journalist, he's been watching because it opens up with him because he's been looking at the photos of some of the members of Fran Shushu. So because since how they kind of resemble some of them who has died, so he's been walking around this whole time. He's been walking around watching Tay. And he's been following her around because he's one suspects that she's one has the most more awkward. She's the most weird and the most awkward out of the group. He sees her how the way she behaves. How the way she's been eating things, and so he's been taking pictures of her, following her around. That more where he goes to the cemetery, and he sees going to this one grave, and he sees he's eating something that's been placed there. But then he walks along, which actually really enough the grave that she was at though, it shows two graves as they walk away. It shows two graves. One was actually her grave. Well, it said Yamada because her last name is Yamada. Yamada ancestral grave, right? And the other one was Sakura's grave, which her last name was Minamoto. So the other one said Minamoto. It said Minamoto family grave, which I kind of guess maybe that's her. If it says family grave, that means her and the rest of her family is dead, I guess. Because it said family grave, it didn't say just her grave. It didn't say just Sakura Minamoto. It said Minamoto family grave. So I guess the rest of her family is dead, or her parents, I think. And then it said Yamada ancestral grave. So first of all, she was at her grave, and then right next to her was Sakura's grave, basically. And after that, she goes to the grocery store. Maria, who was Reiko's daughter, like I said, Saki's her best friend from her biker gang days. Her daughter, Reiko, her daughter Maria works at the supermarket, and is talking with Tay, and basically when Lisa knows that she wants to go to this dance competition. So, and the journalist, he's still following them. So they go to this dance competition, right? And there's this one dance off between her and the mascot of the drive-in tour. The last season they went when Saki when her biker days, she loved going to this famous chicken place. They took the whole group there, and there was the mascot for the drive-in tour. Well, in the mascot of the chicken, the giant chicken. Well, that mascot is in this dance competition, right? Doing I would say like break dancing, right? But like they're spinning on their heads, right? Well, he's doing that. Well, Tay, like since she's dead, right? She can make her whole body spin, but not her head though. Like she's standing on her head, and not just her head is spinning, but just the rest of her body is spinning while she's standing on her head while her head is not moving. And they're all looking at her like, oh wow, she's so good, how should I be able to do that, right? And even the journalist is saying the same thing. And the chicken, he gets dizzy and loses. So Tay, she wins like a very large good amount of money, which is enough to cover their debt, But she wanted to give the money to Maria, and she says no. So, and then that cop once again shows up, like so the cop who's always running into them, as I mentioned. So they have a way to settle it. So they go to this boat race, to place bets, right? And like horse racing, but boat racing. But and she unintentionally put a bet on this on this one woman, which is in the last season. Maria, she had this other gang that the last season, Maria, and her little friends group, right? There's this other rival gang that wore these heart-shaped masks. No, not because they wore masks because of what it is nowadays. So this happened way before then. But this group wore these masks that had a heart on it, right? And the leader of the group wanted to play a game of chicken, right? And that's when Saki took the bike instead and deliberately crashed it instead. But the leader of that one group, though, she kind of lost her kind of spirit afterwards. So she's been doing these boat racing, right? And she had a very low chance of winning. And then explicitly, she was fiddling with a pen. Each borrowed a ticket, and she puts a bet on that. And then basically, the leader of the girl, whose name was Misa of that biker group, Misa. She won, and Tay ended up winning some more money. So she won 20 million yen more. So, and then by the time she gets back home, she shows the group the money. That's basically they've got out their debt has now been covered basically. And the journalist, since he's been following her all day, he was about ready just to give up and go home. But then when he got back to their house, Sakura accidentally decapitated took Tay's head off by accidental, and which they were kind of worried for a second there. But the thing is though, the journalist, he saw it. He took pictures of it. Yeah, he was going through his photos on the computer, and he took the pictures of what happened. He took the picture of Sakura picking her head up, and he was like, wow. He was like wowed by shocked. So that's why I expected what to happen. I said in my previous review of the previous episode, when we showing the preview, is the journalist gonna find out what's going on now? Because it showed him he was taking pictures of the group, and because he was actually following Tay the whole time. So, and I was like, I was hoping that he's gonna find out about the group, who they really are, and he got evidence. He has a picture of Sakura picking up Tay's head, and then I don't know what's happening because in the next preview, I don't think it's not gonna address the journalist what he knows in the preview. So yeah, because the guy there was a guy who was talking to him earlier, is saying, oh, if they were like the same girls who die, they would be revived as zombies, right? He was kind of saying that as a joke, but since he got that photograph, he was kind of believing that the guy was right. So maybe they are zombies. So who knows what's gonna happen when the guy finds out, when the guy's weapons. But I don't think this is the next episode called May Revolution Saga. I don't think it's not gonna address that yet. So, and the preview shows like they're showing, I guess, they're looking at a classroom, sort of like a cooking class, and then all of a sudden there's this body wrapped up. The producer comes out, and then the girls have this shocked look on their face. So I don't know what that one is going to be about, though. So it's called May Revolution Saga. So I'm thinking what this journalist is not gonna, what he found out, it's not going to be addressed in the next episode. So, but since the guy knows something that's definitely going on, what he just saw and took in his pictures, so we'll see that later on. So. That was actually pretty good, though. So I was hoping that this journalist is gonna finally get around to figure out what's going on with this group here. He did some poking around. He was following the one girl Tay around, and look what happens. He got some proof, So yeah, this one I did enjoy. I enjoyed this a bit better than the previous one. But I still say probably episode 4. I still think is slightly bit better though, but. This one I was definitely put above number 5, I would say, definitely. So yeah, so since the guy knows about the secret, and well, something's wrong there, but it's not gonna be addressed in the next episode. So for what it looks like, but hopefully later on the next other episode maybe. But yeah, so it's a Zombieland Saga episode 6. Are we on 6? Yeah. The Bet Saga, that's what it's called. And as to see, once again, seeing Maria in there as well. And so she has a job instead of going around riding her bike around, or a scooter, or whatever she had. Oh yeah, you saw her 2 little gang friends there as well. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, so episode 6, Walking Bet Saga, I enjoyed. So we'll see what happens with that journalist again when he finds out what's going on. So who knows? But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Like I said, I don't. Why haven't I made a video within a week? Because I've been binge watching, my animes, trying to get it afterwards recording for Anime Month. That's why I've not been making videos within the past couple weeks, because I've just been doing these videos instead. So that's why if you wonder I've made any videos yet, because if there was any on the movie news, I would, or whatever. I haven't done any DVD updates or anything, but I've just been watching animes, keeping updates, and that's why I've been so I can do my re-recording them. That's why I've been haven't made a video yet. So, except for this though. So that's why I've been doing. If anyone's been asking, but thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. Later.